This is Enos' Sport, bringing you that heat and that far. We keeping a foot on the whoop, the next. We keeping a foot on the whoop, the next. Listen, y'all, man. Devin Haney's fight against Yuriorkis Gamboa is a bullshit ass fight. It's a quantity over a quality fight. Let me say it again. It's a quantity over a quality fight. And you got supposed black community fan bases supporting Devin Haney and this bullshit. We got to call out bullshit and fuck shit for what it is. Enos' Sport is a standard bearer and a trendsetter on YouTube. And Enos' Sport is going to keep the foot on the whoop on the X. He's going to keep the foot on the whoop on the X. The bottom line is this. When we look at Devin Haney, we see a guy that's not testing himself. We see a guy that's not really pushing himself to the next level. We see a guy that's bullshit. We see a guy that's on fuck shit. You had the Gary Russell Jr. fight that could have really propelled your career. This shit could have catapulted it up. But you let your dad, i.e. Bill Haney, P. Diddy, trying to be all up in all the fucking videos, screw that fucking shit up and basically ruined it for you. But see, this is what people got to understand in this most cold-hearted, unadulterated, and cutthroat truth teller fashion. Devin Haney is telling you guys the biggest lie. He is a fucking email champion, and I'm going to call him out on that shit. You see, he wasn't going to get the email champion tag if he would have found a way to make the Gary Russell Jr. fight happen. But you're an email champion when you don't have quality opponents under your belt. You're a fucking email champion when you don't have heavyweight lifting under your belt. You're a fucking email champion when you don't have legitimate opponents under your belt. Who's legitimate? Alfredo Santiago? The one that you look predictable as fuck against? The one that you threw that choppy overhead right against? You're fighting Gervonta Tank Davis leftovers. And the fucking crazy part about it is you're trying to sell to the boxing community fan base through supposed black community fan bases that this is an actual quality fight. We have to sit here and ask ourselves an underlying question and underlying truth. Gervonta Tank Davis took 10 years off of Yuriorkis Gamboa. Literally, emphatically, unequivocally, and so much so that he dropped this motherfucker 3 times. Yuriorkis Gamboa at the end of the fight went in there and said, man, you did way fucking better than Terrence Bud Crawford. You are on another level. You are special. This is why Enos' Sport is the standard bearer and the trendsetter on YouTube of giving the title that Gervonta Tank Davis is the Minnie Mouse or the Mighty Mouse iteration of Mike Tyson's power meets Roy Jones Jr. athleticism with Floyd Mayweather's pool counter defensive extraordinaire ability. There's a reason for that, because Gervonta Tank Davis is special. We don't say Devin Haney is special. See, Gervonta Tank Davis gets called his own type of fighter. This is when you know a fighter is special. He has his own skill set. When we look at Devin Haney, we're talking about a poor man, and I'm talking about a ridiculously poor man's version of Floyd Money Mayweather. Don't even hold the candle with Money Mayweather. But this is what we're talking about, a copycat. And not even that. This guy hasn't proven shit. And if you're going to talk about being the next Floyd, you need to have a body count on your resume. Enos' Sport is going to keep the foot on the what? On the X. He's going to keep the foot on the what? On the X. See, motherfucking Rudy Poo and Plum Plum Breaks, classic goats and troglodytes, ultra fanboys with the ultra fanboy rhetoric trying to get on Gervonta Tank Davis and say he has power, but he's a powerful guy who has loopholes. What kind of bullshit is that? That's clearly casuals that masquerade as supposed boxing aficionados. Because anyone that has boxing sense knows that Gervonta Tank Davis can fucking fight his ass off. His sparring partner prior to the fight said, man, Gervonta Tank Davis is a special kind of fighter because Gervonta Tank Davis is the type of dude that can mix the combination of his ability in terms of his footwork with his overall ability and skill set with his power. This is what Gervonta Tank Davis is. A guy who is a fighter extraordinaire, a guy who is a fighter that represents someone with power, someone with decency, someone with ability, someone with skill set, someone with authenticity, someone with consistency. Now we're taking that and we're trying to couple that with Devin fucking Haney, a guy who really is a bullshit artist, a guy who really is a guy that he ain't about shit, he ain't about fuck shit, and he's about really what we say. This is what I'm gonna say with Devin Haney. You need to shut up or you need to put up. Or you need to fucking put up or shut up. Because the bottom line is, fighting a guy like Yuriorkis Gamboa, it doesn't get the job done. That's a body count. It's a quantity instead of a quality fight. And like Terrence Bud Crawford, I done told you, you done moved down that line of the chihuahua walking behind the damn fence. Now I'm going to start saying you're a quantity fighter and not a quality fighter. That's the cold-hearted. That's the unadulterated. And that's the cutthroat truth-teller fashion. I keeps the foot on the what? On the next. I keeps the foot on the what? On the next. Devin Haney, I'm ashamed of you, dog. Because you didn't step up, you didn't show up, you didn't show out to show us that you're about that action. I see now you're about bullshit and you're about fuck shit. This is He Knows the Sport. Checking out.